Welcome back, party people. You are listening to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. It is Saturday, March 6th, 2021, and coming up on today's show, the developers behind the hit game Fall Guys has been bought by Epic Games. A leaked trailer for Elden Ring has hit the internet and is arguably the first major update to the game's development we have gotten since its announcement in 2019. We have more Switch Pro rumors, and PlayStation VR had a showcase this week with a few new game announcements as well. We will get to that and more in just a sec. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Alan Busby.
Hello. Gino
Viteri.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream.
And
podcast.
Not streaming it yet, but we will. Maybe
live
one
on
day.
Twitch, on twitch.com right now, or twitch.tv right now.
My mistake. I haven't streamed in a while.
And Ignacio Rojas.
Oh shit, I didn't know we were streaming this.
Wow.
Hey dude, chat.
We are not streaming this, but we'll act like we are.
What up,
Hey.
chat?
Okay.
What's up?
What up,
Subscribe
chat?
to us right now. Hi.
So I don't have a question.
How are you guys?
Yeah. No. We got to ask the question. Guys.
Uh-oh.
If you get hurt in any way, you smack your finger on something or anything else, is it appropriate to respond with yowie, zowie? Like, you can be like, ow, or damn, but instead you smack your finger and you go, yowie, zowie, that hurt.
So I thought about it when you asked a little bit earlier, Alan.
Yeah.
Did you say this?
No. One
You
day
did not.
I bumped my hand when I was switching cables, and I hit my hand, and I didn't say anything because it didn't really hurt. But then I thought to myself, like, could you imagine if you got hurt and someone was just like, yowie zowie?
Yowie zowie. Now I want to try and come up with a different kind of word
Yeah.
to say when we get hurt.
Kind of like if you
So
just
it
you
isn't
go,
that you
oops,
hurt
you go
someone.
oopsie poopsie. No.
You
See,
didn't hurt
I
someone.
feel like it depends on what hurts you, right? Like if it's some like big like manly thing, like a couch like fell on your foot, it might not be the right thing to say, right? But if you have like a cute kitten that scratches you and you're just like, oh, owie zowie, whatever, it's like
A couch
a
crushes
cat.
your foot. A couch crushes your foot, and you're at the hospital, and the doctor goes, okay, so how intense was the pain? You're sitting there. Oh, I would easily give it a yowie zowie, doc.
Yeah.
It hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, a yowie zowie. Oh, wow.
You guys are the first
Nurse?
people.
Doctor,
this person's
we
dead.
have a yowie zowie.
You guys are the first people to say that everyone else I've asked has immediately either said no, never, or why would you even say that?
Well,
They're
first of all, I haven't given my answer
I choose
yet.
all
I haven't
three.
given my
I
answer.
choose all three.
Yeah.
All Ignacio's
No.
like none of the above, or all
Yeah,
the
All
above.
of the
Zowie.
above. All
All
of
the
the above.
above.
It's
Gino?
just like we usually when we get hurt, we immediately, or I don't know about you guys, mine goes to curse, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
oh
Fuck.
you know, or yeah. So I don't know if in a moment of pain I have the brain power to yell yowie zowie like as soon as I get hurt to
But
yell that.
Sounds like Yogi
You know?
Bear.
But if you
Right.
have kids, it makes sense because you get hurt and you have to be like, I don't want to curse around them. So you say
say
that
something like
if you want to be funny, or you be owie.
Frick or Frack.
No,
That's where we
I
got
would
it.
just hold it in. I would hold it in.
Ignacio gets hurt and he's just sitting there stoned face, like, "Are you okay? I'm fine."
That's where
I'm just completely
I mean, but that's
silent.
If
where
I'm
we
not
got.
cursing, I'm holding it in.
That's how we got shiitake mushrooms, though. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because he starts
Yeah.
saying shiitake mushrooms, you know,
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
and fudge.
Indeed.
I used to
Indeed.
always curse with fudge. That was like fudge was like the first word that you're like, I'm gonna start cursing in a few years. But let me start with fudge. Let's start using fudge, and then let's go to crap. Let's evolve to crap, and then that's when you start saying shit.
It's the same thing. You said you want to say damn, but you start with dang it,
Dang, yeah.
dang,
Yeah.
Oh,
Gosh-
ding dang,
gosh
as
darn.
Melissa likes.
gosh darn.
I say.
Gosh darn tootin'.
Good stuff.
Well, there you go. So yowie zowie, big no.
Yowie zowie,
Alan,
big
Big
yes.
Alan, how are you doing? What have you been playing this week? Let's start talking about some video games.
So I only got small notes. So the only thing I want to mention about Yakuza 0, guys, I finally hit manager mode. I finally unlocked the cabaret.
Oh,
There you
Yes. Yes.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, that's right. And
Ignacio was
I
like,
thought,
no, he's never going to beat this
No.
game anymore.
I truly
Alright.
thought it was going to be
He
something
found
basic.
something
I
else
was
to
like,
distract him.
it's going to be like Kiryu. I just set them up, send them off to work and everything else. No, dude, legit, it's manager mode. I get to customize them, design them, boost their stats, level them up. I get to literally be a manager. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. The best part is Amy loves customization, like character creation. So now in Yakuza 0, while I'm playing it, when I have to start grinding out money, Amy is going to design my cabaret ladies for me.
There you go.
And then I have to be the manager and then, please the customers. So Yakuza 0
Teamwork makes
just
the
keeps-
dream work.
It keeps getting better, guys.
Co-op.
The problem is that that's not the only activity that can distract you. Like you
Well,
have that, and you also
so
have the
many.
no, but you
Um,
also have the business one where you're managing
Yeah.
properties.
Raking
I'm
all
gonna-
the
never gonna
money,
finish the
baby.
game.
So
You're
I'm gonna
never
say
gonna
something.
finish it.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna shake Ignacio to his core. Okay.
Uh-oh.
God damn it! Don't do it, Jin.
Do
Don't
it.
do
Um,
it. God,
I'm gonna
don't
get.
do it.
I'm
Say
gonna
it.
get Yakuza Like a Dragon without having played any of the
Fucking
games.
God
I
damn it!
want to play
Why?
it. I want to play it, dude. I want to play it.
Now
Everyone
hold
talks so
on.
much good about it, and I just
Now
want
hold
to play
on.
it.
Beef
Ignacio,
in the crew.
I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna restore your
Don't.
faith. I'm gonna buy Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I'm gonna play through the whole franchise before I play Like a Dragon.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank
this
you.
is
Because Alan,
perfect. This is perfect. When we get to Yakuza Like a Dragon, we can talk about it with those exact opposite experiences. You know what I mean?
In,
There you go.
You know how
in
long
10
it's gonna take me
years
to
when
get
we
there?
look back at
She's
like
never
what
gonna
went
get there.
wrong with crossplay, we can pinpoint this
Yeah.
moment where it's like lines were drawn in the sand.
At the
Like,
end of this year, when we talk about our worst parts of this year, this is gonna be number one.
yeah. Like Alan, I do not want you to play Like a Dragon because you are gonna get spoiled. Or spoilers. You're gonna get the spoilers because Yakuza Like a Dragon is both like a new jumping point, but it's also the continuation and in a lot of ways the end of a lot of the stories. So you are gonna get would get a lot of things spoiled, especially since
Ignacio.
you now started with 0.
I already got a spoiler on Yakuza 0 between Yakuza 0 and Kiwami. I already saw a spoiler by accident.
Which
It happens.
spoiler?
I
Which
saw that
spoiler?
Kiryu goes to
Internet.
prison.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not a spoiler. That's the
The fuck you mean it's not a
premise
spoiler?
of. That's
I
the
mean-
premise of Yakuza 1.
It's obvious.
Well, anyway, that's all I had on Yakuza 0. So the only other
Yeah.
the other game I actually played is I started Yeast 9 on Monday, last Monday, and I like it. It's not like your high action style games like Devil May Cry and Nier Automata and stuff, but it's also not RPG turn based like Dragon Quest and things like that. It
Mhm.
has this nice blend of like action with like RPG using your skills and stuff kind of like in the moment of battle. So it's just really fun to play. Apparently Ys 9 is like, hey, you're accused of these crimes from all your past adventures. And I'm like, I have only playing Ys 8. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay.
You should have played the other ones. I told you.
Well, I play, yeah, you told me. So yeah, I'm not fully understanding all the crimes I'm being accused of, but I understand the ones that reference Ys 8.
God damn
But
it,
in terms
Gino.
of gameplay, I'm loving it. It's great. I'm
Yeah,
playing
this is
that.
like Tails, right? This is like Tails.
It's so you know how the Tales games have kind of like you're stuck on kind of it's 3D, but you're on that kind of 2D plane of battling a little bit.
No,
Okay,
I
so
don't think they have that.
okay,
No, I
so
don't
the
feel like
so
they
the
don't.
Tales game that I played, it's 3D, but you're on kind of like a
Which one did
2D
you play?
thing. Tales of Exilia.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the newer ones.
Okay, I haven't played the newer ones. It's
Okay.
I'll have to check that out. But Yeast 9 is kind of like it's freeform action,
Yeah.
but like it's you can't be like stylish action like Devil May Cry and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just kind of a bit of a button masher kind of.
Mhm.
Think of almost kind of like the Samurai Warriors, but you're not fighting hordes of enemies all at once.
Mhm.
Kind of like that.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So that's
Nice.
so pretty nice. Other than that, yesterday on stream and before stream to test it, I had my friend who only exclusively plays Call of Duty pretty much. He played the Resi 8 demo. He tried Resi. We played Resi 7 on stream, but before stream, he tried Resident Evil 2. And man, I'll give it this. Because he only plays Call of Duty, he played that Resident Evil 8 demo and he got lost. He was like, I don't know what to do or where to go. He's like, I'm literally lost. I'm like,
Yeah,
how are you lost?
You can't get lost. Yeah, you can't get easily lost.
He played
on
Resident Evil 2
that demo.
in Resident Evil 2, got in the gas station, got the gun, that first zombie. He tried to shoot and he was like, "Oh, the shooting is so bad. Why? Oh, it's not fast paced like Call of Duty. It's not like Blackout. Like, why is the shooting so bad?" And I'm like, do you play anything else? He goes, "Well, the shooting in this game is just bad." Like, what?
Yeah. That's
I
Like,
mean, he's not necessarily wrong. Like the shooting in Resident Evil, it isn't great.
I wouldn't call it bad. I wouldn't call it bad.
if you're coming from Call of Duty, it's
Yeah, have all of us
Yeah,
played
it's
Resident Evil 7
different.
here? Have we all played
It's
Resident Evil
different.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so for Gino and
Kyle
Ignacio,
has to, yeah.
you know how when you first get caught by Jack,
Kyle has.
you then have to leave that kitchen area, and then Jack comes out the hallway, and you have to work around him.
Yeah.
He found the latch door. He was like, I don't know how to open this, and he's like in his inventory, and he's like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, well, you got to keep exploring. He bumps into Jack, and then he gets hit. He just stands there stands there at Jack, and he's like, I don't know where to go, and Jack keeps hitting him, and he's like, I'm so fucking confused. Where do I go? And I was like, well, get around him. He grabs the key. I'm like, grab the key. He grabs the key. It literally says latch key. And I was like, all right, you're good. And he's like, well, where the fuck do I go now? Where do I go now? And I was like, do you not remember the latch door from a few minutes ago? He goes, no, I don't know where that is. Like,
Damn.
I'm like, bro, this is not rocket science.
Like, this guy's killing me, dude. Do I run?
Well, okay. In the Resident Evil 8 demo, the lady, because she blocks the door, so you get grabbed by her, you run away, then you run around her. He grabs her, and then he doesn't run away, and his first reaction is this. So what do I, like, he gets killed, and he's like, what was I supposed to do? Run away? I tried. She still got me. Like,
Well,
I'm like, what?
at least you gave him the
happens,
chance
though.
to try something different than Call of Duty, you know?
I did.
Yeah.
But it stuck
Yeah.
with him because this morning he texts me and he goes, well, we've got to finish Resident Evil 7. I was like, well, all right then.
Let's
Nice,
do it.
nice, nice.
There you go.
See,
Good
now
stuff.
Kyle, it's your turn.
Yeah. That's all
My
I
Your
did.
turn.
turn to play Resident Evil soon.
Oh no, I was gonna be like,
Oh.
I've only been playing Sunset Overdrive.
But yeah, you could go into it.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
not,
could play
not gonna
Resident 7.
happen for Resident Evil.
It's gonna
7.
happen at some point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you playing.
No, the Whatnauts Wednesday, a
Yeah.
full-on fall October stream. Kyle plays Resi 7 or Resi 8
Yeah.
I'm
for
sick.
Spooky Month.
And if he doesn't beat it by the end of October, we make him play Outlast.
Ah.
No.
I really want you to play it.
But Kyle, how's Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset Overdrive is getting better. I don't think I need a sequel to this game. It's a little bit too cartoonish for my tastes.
Well, good thing you
but
never
it
got
is, It is right. It is arcadey though in a way that I like. Like they don't make like open world shooters like this exactly, right?
one. Okay.
Which is why I think this game is so unique and why so many people like it. And I'm getting better at the traversal, so I'm starting to like it more. I think it was an experiment that put them on the path that is what led to Spider-Man, like we mentioned last week.
Like the traversal mechanics.
It just
Yeah.
the idea of gamifying it, right? Of
Yeah.
like, how do we make this fun?
Yeah.
I don't think they nailed it in this. I think it's slow. I think it's overly complicated in a way that kind of holds you back from doing exactly what you want. Like in Spider-Man, you can swing wherever you want in any direction. There's nothing that says like you can't really swing in this direction, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in
Unless your webs can't
Overdrive-
connect, but even then you could still like zip to something or wall run.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In this, you are grinding on telephone wires and the edges of buildings and handrails and guardrails. So it's set directions and set locations that you can move on. And so sometimes it's just like, well, I want to go off that way, but to get there, I have to go like around, and it's just like it takes so long, and it's just like, why can't I just move in that direction? But there is just like so much stuff of I can hop on this thing and bounce off that thing and grind on this thing, and that you can kind of go in any direction, but it's also there's just like so much that it's just like what it feels like it's stopping me. If
That you
makes
don't
sense.
you like the game kind of gives you the feeling you have freedom of movement, but you don't have complete freedom of movement.
Right. Yeah. So it's like they're on to something. They've gamified this in a way that I think is interesting, but it's just not there yet. And so I'm happy they continued with that and was like, we made Spider-Man, and holy moly, that game is great.
It's a good stepping stone because Spider-Man,
Absolutely.
I believe, was their next game after Sunset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
sick.
don't know how much left I have of that game. I heard it's pretty short, like 10 or 12 hours. So I think I'm like 6 to 8 hours in.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
I hope they
Cool.
go back to it.
I never played it yet.
Well, it's Microsoft that owns the IP, right?
Yeah.
Or there's some
No.
weird thing.
I think Insomniac owns the IP, but Microsoft owns the
Microsoft
game.
owns the publishing rights or
Like,
something.
Yeah.
No, I think Insomniac could, in theory, make an Sunset 2.
Interesting. There was something I
But
remember
they,
that
they
like
couldn't easily
one of them owns
bring
one
the original Sunset Overdrive
thing, and
over
the other
to
one owns something
PlayStation.
else. It's like
I
one
think that's
owns
the
the
deal. I'm not
publishing
sure. No.
Yeah.
rights, and one owns the IP or something.
All right.
Like
Here,
that,
I looked
but
it up.
don't remember exactly.
I looked up. It says, does Xbox own Sunset Overdrive? Once Xbox owned it, but it's now owned by Sony.
Did Ignacio freeze to you guys?
Well,
Yes.
it's owned
He
by
froze on
Sony
the-
because they own Insomniac, but
Froze on
it's,
the-
it's Microsoft still owns something.
Yeah, but it says here that despite being an Xbox exclusive, Sony now owns the right to Insomniac's Sunset Overdrive, but there doesn't seem to be much chance of a sequel. So
I
there
see.
could
Right.
be, but yeah.
Right, for the exact things that I've just been saying. I think Microsoft still owns the publishing rights.
Yeah, I can't
even though
find it anywhere.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's all I've been playing this week. It's been a slow week for me in terms of video games.
Yeah, same.
Gino,
Well, yeah.
Okay.
about you?
Yeah, no, I have. It's been a slow week for me. I just wanted to shout out Valorant. So I feel like we don't talk about like these multiplayer games a lot.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
I wanted to mention it.
I don't feel like
which one's
most
Valorant?
people talk about
the community
Valorant
building
all
one,
that
right?
much.
Valorant. No, no, that's you're thinking of Valheim, I think.
Okay.
Valorant is the shooter, the CS:GO sort of shooter
Oh,
made by
the CSGO one
made
with
by
power.
Riot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys know. So I played it when it first came out for a while, and I fell off for like I never really fell off. I just stopped playing as frequently. But the past 2 weeks, I started playing a lot more often. Two new heroes came out, were released. They're actually releasing them pretty frequently, which is cool. They continue to update the game pretty often. But yeah, not much to say about it. It's fun. It's very competitive. It's one of those games that if you're really bad, you're not gonna have fun. But you do get better once you start learning stuff. Because like when I first started, I did not know how to snipe at all, and then I found out the trick to it. The trick to doing it right, and now I'm clicking heads left and right, my friends, left and right, and it's fun. It's fun when you're good at these games. So
Wow. It's be like, guys, the game's fun, but only if you're good.
no, it's true. That's how that kind of game is. Like, I don't want to go into because the rounds, like when you go and play a game, it's 13 wins that you have to get, like 13 round wins. So games are like, I mean, it's similar to League of Legends. Like games are like can be 30 to 40 minutes, you know, depending on how bad you're doing.
Yeah.
So it would suck to get stuck in that and be getting dominated the entire time, you know. So it's fun. I like playing with friends. Like they also have different game modes where you just go in quick 4 or 5 minute matches with little different buffs on the map and stuff like that. So it's a fun game to play. Obviously, everybody knows Valorant. I mean, you guys know of it, but don't play it. So
I don't like the idea of matches taking a while. Like that's one reason why I don't like League of Legends is people would be like, oh, League isn't that. Sometimes games take like an hour, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Like you would think it's like, oh, it's a quick hop in, hop out, but no, you're hopping in and you're staying in there. You're staying in there.
I feel like you're hopping on and you're going to the last stop.
But there's actually they released a new game mode that I have yet to try called Escalation, and I think it's similar to a gun game from Call of Duty. Every time you get a kill, you get a different gun, and you have to get a kill with that one and stuff like that. So I want to try that out. But they have the regular deathmatch where you're going against everybody on a certain map, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm talking about it like it's a new game. No, it's just
I saw a bunch more people playing it this week than I have in a long time.
Yeah,
so that must be why with the new game mode and stuff like that. I think I was watching
it's having a resurgence.
Golden Boy stream it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have it. So. They released. There's a new season that just came out this past week. So where they released a new hero and stuff. The heroes are really diverse, which is cool. In design and skills. So it's nice to see them bring a new one. Like probably, I think for the past, it's been one a month, the past few months. So that's pretty good on them. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I haven't really been playing much Valorant. Fun if you're good, boring if you're not.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. Let's see. Ignacio, are you still with us? Seems like he's having some connect. Oh, cool. You are still here. Do you have an update on Mortal Kombat?
Fatality.
Yeah. Exactly. There are indeed fatalities in the game.
Oh.
I finished the Mortal Kombat 11 the core story, and so I of course moved on to the Aftermath story, which was like a kind of a DLC story that they added to the game afterwards. I kind of was expecting something different from it. Like I was expecting to get like newer things, like a new story in a certain way, especially with regards to the way that Mortal Kombat 11, the core one, ended. But instead, it's just... So I kind of a bit of spoilers for Mortal Kombat 11. The game plays a lot with different timelines merging into one another. And by the end of it, time gets reset. And so Aftermath, what it is that you play as some of characters that weren't present during the core game, but you actually are going back in time to and kind of relive the same events in a certain way of this story. And so I kind of was expecting something else instead of going through the same story that we went through. Of course, it is still different. The outcome is different in the end. And it is cool to see or to play as the characters that you get to play as. And definitely, I think that the next Mortal Kombat game is going to be another reboot because of the way that it ends. It clearly sets up a new... Like, the timeline is fucked already, so they have to start again.
All right.
I gotcha.
And so...
Good stuff.
It will be pretty cool to see.
All right.
And so after finishing that, I went back and played Mortal Kombat 9, which was in itself kind of a reboot. And I've been enjoying it. It for sure is a bit difficult to go back to that game because it was a 360 PS3 game and there are things that got implemented later to the game that are in the game. But still, I am enjoying seeing that story, the original story of the game. And the gameplay itself, it is still pretty cool, even though it doesn't have the other things that they added afterwards. It's still some pretty good gameplay. So I'm enjoying it for now, and I still plan on, after beating this one, jumping into 10.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, other than Mortal Kombat, I still tried this week to finish Super Mario 3D World, but I'm still unable to finish Champions Road. I have lost maybe 400 lives already, but I just haven't been able to finish it.
I was gonna say there's that little like cool glitch area in like I think one of the first levels where you can just be in a wall and use a shell and just grind out lives.
I did that.
The best you can do.
Luckily, I did that because if not, I would have to start all over again, or it would kick me out of the level every time.
God, I want to play Champions Road again. That level was so fun, but so hard.
It is in a way fun, but it doesn't help that now my Joy-Cons are experiencing drift. I hadn't had that problem before. Like my Switch is an original Switch, and so I've had the Joy-Cons for a long time, and luckily I hadn't experienced drift, but right now it is screwing me up a lot where I just need to make this precise movement, and all of a sudden Mario just keeps running.
Yeah. Well, dang. So
I'm going to pause it. I'm gonna leave it there for a bit until I can play with my Switch Pro controller, because I'm hoping that that's gonna help me. And so I just jumped back into Bowser's Fury. Okay. That game's still a lot of fun. It is a bit weird that it is using the controls of Super Mario 3D World, but it works fine. I think it is pretty fun. I don't have much to say other than that. It's fun.
I have a Joy-Con drift story, or I guess not a story, but here's how it affected me. So I still have my original Switch with the original Joy-Con, and they drift sometimes. The game that I've noticed it the most on was the Let's Go Pokemon. The Let's Go Pokemon games, and it was drifting downwards. So like my character would turn around and walk towards the camera, right? And so when I push forward, it's also drifting backwards. So my character can never really run. He just like walks really slowly.
Wow, dude, wow.
And so it was just like, oh, this is the worst when I have to go like up a bridge or something. It just takes forever. And it's just like, oh, this is the worst. So luckily, there's certain games where it's just like it doesn't really happen all that much. Yeah. So I don't know.
Luckily for me, it isn't that bad. It isn't constant. It's just like I said, I'm moving forward, but I want to stop at the edge, for example, and he would just not stop. He would just keep going. But it isn't always. I can still play pretty much regularly. Yeah. It's just the fine, precise movement. That's when it screws me over.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
That sucks so bad. Well, let's get on to housekeeping, and then we can jump into the news. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I tested them out this time before the podcast. So hopefully it'll work on the first try. We did it, boys.
Nice.
Yeah. If you guys did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at the Whatnauts. You guys can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just yesterday, Ignacio, you joined us for our reactions to the WandaVision finale. We put up part 2 of our reactions on the Reactor Core, which is one of our other podcasts. So be on the lookout for that. That should already be up by time this goes public. And keep an eye out down the road because we will be doing that for each episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. And I'm excited to do all of that stuff. If you guys are wanting more WandaVision content, also keep your eyes peeled because Melissa and I on the review show read The Vision by Tom King. And that is one of my favorite comics of all time. I like to describe it as what if Breaking Bad, but The Vision. Things go really wrong and they keep going wrong and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah, and it is a great read, so I highly recommend checking that out. But that is what we covered this week on the review show, which we are recording tomorrow. So that'll be out the day after this goes public. That being said, if you like what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We have a $3 tier with all kinds of exclusive content. And a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier. So thank you, Sam, so much for helping us out for so long. We appreciate it a lot. And we thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
There you go.
Thank you.
Speaking of Twitch, we might not be live right now, but we do stream on Twitch. You guys can find us Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Sunday nights at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts. Whatnauts Wednesdays, we will be playing video games. Then each Friday night, we do the Captain's Log, which is one of our other podcasts. And then on Sunday nights, I'm trying to stream each Sunday night, so I will be there. But yeah, that's it. You guys can go subscribe to our channel there. And if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. So if you link your accounts, which is super simple, you guys have a free subscription to give. And we would love that to be us here at The Whatnauts. So there you go. With that, though, let's get on out of housekeeping and talk about the news.
All right, my friends, let's get into it. Number 1, Tonic Games Group, makers of Fall Guys, joins Epic Games. Side note, I did not know they were named Tonic Games Group. I thought it was just Mediatonic. But there you go.
So Tonic Games Group is kind of like an umbrella. There's actually multiple studios that they bought, but the big one that we all know is Mediatonic.
There you go. There you go. So this comes over from Epic Games. They said, "We are thrilled to announce that Tonic Games Group is joining the Epic Games family. Tonic Games is the development company behind the hit sensation Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. For Fall Guys fans, your gameplay isn't changing, and Epic will continue to invest in making the game a great experience for players across platforms. Your favorite colorful beans will still stumble through the chaos on PC, PlayStation, and soon Nintendo, Switch, and Xbox." What do you think about this, Kyle?
I think this was a good move. I like what they've done with Fall Guys. I've not played it myself, but it's fun to watch.
You've never played Fall Guys?
It is a blast.
Oh wow!
I haven't yet, man. I downloaded it. But yeah, like it's one that I've enjoyed watching people play because I have such fond memories of like Most Extreme Elimination Challenge and stuff back in the day. It's a good, fun game, and I'm interested to see what I'm interested to see what Epic Games is doing with this space, because now they have Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League, right? So it's these like online free-to-play games. They're doing something with that. So
the Fall Guys player base, I assume, fell a little bit. So I think this is good that they're going under the Epic Games umbrella, because Epic Games with Fortnite, they just Fortnite's never gonna go away, So and they do a lot of stuff to keep Fortnite relevant. So I assume they're gonna make Fall Guys, one of those games that will stay relevant in the industry for a while.
I mean, it works though, because like if they make Fall Guys that continuous great game, it's good because, oh hey, does Fortnite not appeal to you? Then there's Fall Guys. Like it just gives another long lasting like games as a service that's not just Fortnite that you can kind of jump into. Or it gives you another game that if you play both, you can just keep bouncing back and forth between them. I'm like Kyle, I also actually never played Fall Guys myself either.
Ignacio, have you played Fall Guys yet?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was gonna say who hasn't, but Kyle hasn't. I think
This guy.
I think
Or Alan, no.
Oh,
Hey.
Alan, come on.
Well,
I think
yeah,
it makes sense for them to buy it. I think it fits really nice with their portfolio. It kind of seems like a good fit for them to be with Epic. It now opens the possibility for Epic to do what they did with Fortnite on Fall Guys. We already have all these costumes, and we have seen a bit more of the like celebrity costumes being added, but
Yeah.
I think now they'll probably do what they do with Fortnite at the Xenomorph, for example, or at Marvel costumes. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't be surprised if they.
Wolverine.
It would make sense.
So
I
fun.
think that
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they do not end up doing that. And also, I think there's also now the possibility of them making it free to play at some point.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's for sure, but I think it would make sense. That model has worked for them with Fortnite.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah.
And I think compared to Rocket League, cars, it's a little bit harder to like get good creative skins with that, right?
Mhm.
Like it's still a super popular game, but you're fairly limited on like what, like you can't put Wolverine in there. I mean, sure, you can make a car that maybe has the same color scheme, right?
Mhm.
But at least with Fall Guys, you can actually have like, here's a cool costume, a little fat Wolverine,
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. So
Well, that's excellent for them. I'm still always going to be salty with Fall Guys because they never saw my documentary. So F them, but good for them.
Wow.
Let's move on, my friends, to number 2. The Nintendo Switch Pro. We got some more info that has been leaked on this. It will reportedly have a 720p OLED screen. This is from Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer. Nintendo's widely anticipated Switch Pro model will feature a 7-inch 720p OLED screen and output at up to 4K when connected to a TV. That's according to a Bloomberg report, which cites sources aware that Samsung will provide its screens and begin production on those from June. Nintendo's plan is to reveal the new Switch model this year with an eye to launch in time for the lucrative holiday season, the report concludes, though no firmer release window is given. So, Ignacio, what do you think about the Switch having a 720p OLED screen? This is undocked, correct?
Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think the Switch already is 720 undocked. OLED it would
is
probably
correct. Yeah.
it would look better, but I don't know how much it would change. I think the most important thing here would be the possible upgrade to 4K using the dock.
Yeah.
The Switch is gonna be left behind right now that we're starting a new generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this generation, more than the previous ones, Nintendo, I think, has seen not a steady stream of third-party support, but I would think a strong support, a stream of third-party support.
Mm-hmm.
If all of the sudden they do get left behind, we will go back to a situation where Nintendo's now only relying still on their first party, which I don't know if they want that or not. We have been hearing all these rumors for so long. I just want them to put it out now.
And this was leaked by Samsung, correct? Like they said something about it. I heard that Samsung was
I
the one
wouldn't
that
really call
were
this a
designing.
leak.
Not a leak. It was just a.
This is
I don't know
Bloomberg
what we're
reported.
calling it. Yeah.
They have sources. Yeah,
I would say it's a leak because Nintendo themselves didn't say it. So
there's two things, guys, in this world that are forever.
Yeah.
The Nintendo fans thirst for a direct constantly.
absolutely.
And rumors of any kind of new Nintendo hardware at all. Like those are the two eternals in this world. Now, like I understand that like with the new gen, Nintendo's quote falling behind, but even before, at least to me, from playing some Nintendo never really focuses on standing toe to toe with like the graphic fidelity of like Xbox and Sony. Mm-hmm. Nintendo's strength is the fact that they're doing their own thing. Yeah, are their games graphics as high as probably PS5 and the new Xbox? No. But what Nintendo gets is they have those experiences in their games, in their lineup of games. Like, they don't need to make a new Switch just to be, 4K, 60, or everything else. They can, but their strength lies in their games and what the experience they bring to you is.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was listening to NVC, the IGN's Nintendo podcast, and I think it was Brian Altano that was like, look, you can get much better screens and stuff on your cell phone.
Yeah.
But they're super expensive, right? It's like $1,200. But that's not what Nintendo makes. Like, they don't make these super, super high-tech devices and stuff like that. It's, they make a $300 handheld.
Well, think about it. Even that, like, Nintendo made a new console in the Switch Lite. Nintendo doesn't care if you sit on your TV playing 4K. Their strength lies in, hey, the Switch might not look as graphically impressive as those, but you can bring the Switch wherever you want. You can dock it at home. You can play it handheld. That's their strength. They don't need to cater to the 4K graphics of home consoles. They sit in the middle. They have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Two points for that. One, Nintendo more than any other console manufacturer is the one that puts out the most revisions of their consoles. The 3DS, the new 3DS, you have the
I lost them.
GBA to the
lost
color.
Ignacio,
well,
you've been cutting in and out. I'm sure we got a little bit more of that on his end of the
we're
thing
interrupting
here, but
him right
can
now.
continue on.
Well, Ignacio, thank you for your thoughts and opinions on that.
We've heard rumors of like a new Nintendo Switch for a long time, basically since they launched it, right?
Pretty much.
The stuff that I think is a concern, or not even a concern, but just something to be aware of, is that they also need to do something about better battery life. If this can output 4K. In docked, you don't really need a better battery then, but with an OLED screen, you might need it, especially if it's a larger screen.
Yeah, it's bigger too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems to be that they're only reporting it like an output to 4K, which is probably, I'm assuming, just going to be an upscaled thing, right? Not like a
native 4K.
4K thing. And I think, it's not necessarily a hardware increase. It's just like, hey, we can take what we've been making and make it look a little bit better.
I mean, even if it is upscaling, you still need better hardware in there. You guys lost me there, right?
Yeah, we did for a little.
Yeah. The point I was making is that the first point is that Nintendo, more than any other console manufacturer, has put out console revisions of their hardware. Last time it was a new 3DS for the 3DS. You got the DSi for the DS. You got the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advanced. They tried to create the 64DD. So Nintendo, more than anyone, does put out console revisions and more powerful versions of their consoles. The second point I was gonna make is that you guys say that Nintendo doesn't need to rely on third party. You go to Nintendo for first party, but the truth is that when Nintendo has had to rely on just first party, those are the moments when Nintendo has done the worst.
Yeah.
That was it for the Wii U, that was the GameCube, the Nintendo 64. All those eras, those were the worst financially for Nintendo, whereas now for the Switch, for the Wii, for the NES and the SNES, those were Nintendo at its strongest. So the idea that Nintendo can rely only on having only their own games, that doesn't really hold up.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Any closing thoughts from anybody? Hopefully we see this at the end of the year. Apparently we're gonna get
if there's a new Switch, I wonder if the Joy-Con drift will be gone. That's all I got.
Oh God, I hope, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo is refusing to acknowledge it,
So
so I don't know.
Yeah.
So out of us, who would get one? I would.
no.
I think I would.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I necessarily need one right away.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't get one right away.
I barely touch my Switch as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
It depends on what games they got, which again, it is kind of counter to what you just said. Like, I want the new Zelda to be like, and we're launching it with our new Switch Pro. Then I'd be like, I'm sold.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if they do that, to be honest with you.
I mean, people were also being like, hey, that new Pokemon is running real chunky. I wonder if it's because they can't really show the full thing because they haven't really released the hardware that will make it run yet.
So you bring up the fact that we'll move on. Like, if we see this in action, it'll be with a solid lineup, and we'll see this at like the E3 time coming later this year with like this solid 4K lineup of games.
Yeah,
that's when we'll see it, if it's real.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see something that we saw with the new 3DS, where something like Hyrule Warriors was one of the games that they were pushing for the new 3DS, and it ran fine as far as I know on the new 3DS, but on the regular 3DS it ran badly. So I think we'll probably have that same situation again, which would be unfortunate.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, my friends, let's move on here to number 3. Marvel's Avengers increases the XP grind and gets rid of random cosmetic drops. This is over on IGN by Matt Kim. On March 18, the newest DLC character, Hawkeye, is set to be released alongside the next-gen versions of Marvel's Avengers. But Crystal Dynamics is also changing up some key progression mechanics, along with how random cosmetic drops will work. In a new developers blog, the Marvel's Avengers team shared that the current XP progression curve isn't really a curve at all, in quotes. Whereas most RPGs increase the amount of XP required to level up as players get stronger. Marvel's Avengers XP system is linear and static. Quote, this has led to pacing issues such as skill points currently being rewarded too fast, which may be confusing and overwhelming to newer players. End quote, says Crystal Dynamics in the blog. To fix this, Marvel's Avengers will begin increasing the amount of XP required to level up, starting at around level 25. The required XP will increase the closer players get to level 50, which is the current max level. Crystal Dynamics says players looking to max their characters quickly can try and grind before March 18 when the update is set to go live. So, my friends, I am an avid player of MMOs, correct? You guys know this. Yep. I play Final Fantasy a lot.
Incorrect. You're a liar.
So,
we've heard it once or twice.
And I've played World of Warcraft, right? So these MMOs are innately heavily grindy games. But the difference between, I'm comparing now World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy. The difference between World of Warcraft is Final Fantasy is that Final Fantasy cares about your time. They know that you're going to grind, but they care about it. So they want you to, enjoy what you're doing with the grind and feel like what you've earned is truly earned. World of Warcraft doesn't really care much. They just grind so you can play. That's it. They grind so you can play longer, so you can stay there, so you can keep subbed, and all that stuff. it looks like what Avengers is doing is trying to keep you playing the game. And that is the worst thing that they can possibly do because they do not have a player base for this. So, Alan, I know that you like to grind games a lot. Kyle and Ignacio, I know that you guys beat the game. But I want to get your thoughts on this, Alan. What do you think about them adding more grind to this game? He's muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the interesting thing is like that's what makes this so interesting with grinding is like people generally don't like grinding unless you're being continuously rewarded.
Yeah.
Like any RPG I play, like what's like playing Dragon Quest, what's the beauty of grinding? You level up, you get new skills. Yeah, sometimes you get multiple skills or you'll get several abilities. Do you use all of them right away? No. The thing is, even if you get overloaded with skills and abilities, it doesn't it can make it overwhelming, and that's especially true in some games. But the fact is, even if you have all of the tools, you're not forced to use them until you, the player, decide to dabble back and look and put your time into learning the game because the game gave you tools you're not utilizing. So I think I have not seen anybody complain about the grind or leveling in Marvel's Avengers because one, like Gino said, no player base. So like, honestly, grinding yourself out to level 50 and just being overpowered and being strong, there is a joy in just over leveling and just grinding and just hitting max level and being overpowered as shit. So if people like that, then let them do that. Like if you have people that play your game and just want to be strong, but you make it where now that it's going to take forever to level up or now it's a lot slower, then now you're just grinding to play. And then that's going to kill your enjoyment of the game of oh man, I want the new ability, but now it's going to take God knows how long because I have to grind and grind and grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right that like you need a game to respect your time. And with the way it is now, you're playing it to level up. Yeah, you hit max level, but you have all these tools and abilities to just really flex on the game versus, oh, now you have to devote hours and hours and hours to hit that same level to hopefully maybe enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know why they're focusing on this. Like, Avengers has so many problems. This isn't one of them. Like,
I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
This is not the thing that they need to be focusing on.
I'm not a grindy person. I do not like grinding. I'm not an MMO person for that being one of the reasons. And I got capped to level 50, and if not, I got him pretty close to level 50, and I thought that while it wasn't easy, it was approachable. It was attainable. So I do not see that being a problem. Like Greg Miller, who is a huge Avengers fan, talked about how the game, he just wants to love the game. The game has so many problems, but this isn't one of it. Like, his reasoning is that for him, it is easier for him to recommend the game for other people because you can just start the character and kind of, in a way, easily, relatively, you can get every power that you want because you can relatively easily get to level 50, and then you can play the end game stuff with all of the powers, which is something that you want later. Like, this is making that way of selling the game harder, telling people that you can get to all those things that you want easier. I don't know why choose this. Like, Gino, you said this is a way to keep players playing, but Avengers just needs more players right now. It doesn't need to keep them there. It needs more, and this isn't gonna do it.
You mentioned the end game. I think that's another one of their problems that they should be focusing on now. Like, once you get there, there's nothing to do. But I think for me, the main issue was that, like, if I'm playing this game, I want to feel like a fucking Avenger, right? Like, I want to feel strong and powerful and just whoop these guys' asses. And I didn't necessarily feel like that. Like, I know the combat opens up the deeper you get into it, because I really only played the main story and that was it. But that was the thing of, like, even though I was leveling up, I was still getting my butt kicked.
Yeah,
like I don't feel like I felt overpowered or stuff like that. So now they're making it harder to feel overpowered. Like you didn't even get there in the first place. So I don't know. Just like I don't. This is
that's honestly another issue is like redoing the whole level system from 25 to 50. Anything you guys play during those levels is definitely going to throw off the pacing issues because, as you said, if something is difficult, now instead of dabbling back into your toolset of stuff that you had to learn how to solve the problem, now your solution is I have to grind to hopefully get stronger to get past this part. Instead of being like, okay, well, what do I have in my skill list or abilities that I can use that might make this better?
I think that the game.
Yeah, go for it, Gino.
I've been holding on to stuff. So this is very clearly like they're going to roll back on this. There is not in any way on this earth that they can roll back on this and not expect the player base to go down to zero. Like this is the most tone deaf thing they could possibly do. It's like they don't. And the craziest thing about this and the funniest thing is this is Square Enix. You know what else is in Square Enix? Final Fantasy 14 Online. Just look at them, dude. Look at them.
But this is also Crystal Dynamics, though.
Yeah, like it's Crystal Dynamics, but like you know what I mean. It's so funny seeing how you're opening up the Final Fantasy Square Enix pops up. You're opening up Avengers Square Enix pops up. What is the like? Why are you? Take some cues from what you're a part of, you know. And they are not doing this. They're not going to keep a player base like this at all. And and the thing is, for someone like me that has thought about, let me go back and start playing. I want to go back when Spider-Man is released on PlayStation. Let me go back and do that. But now hearing this, you know, if he's ever released, now hearing this, I'm not. Like I've made this, I'm not gonna play. And the funniest thing is as well that they end that whole blog with saying, so make sure to get your characters leveled up before the 18th.
Yep.
Like as if like it
it's
will
like
be
they
your
know
punishment.
It's gonna backfire.
It'll be punishment if you don't do that. You know, so whatever.
They're pretty much saying, hey, this update's gonna suck, so you might as well just play the game now before the 18th, because after the 18th you won't play it anymore.
Exactly.
It's so baffling what's going on with the development, because you have something like what were they called, the hives, not the hives, basically the raids that I know they promised like before the game came out that they were the secret lab thing. They promised that it was gonna be there at some point, and then from Mirabella got to play it last year, like around November. There's still no word on when it's coming. Like he got to play it because there was some error where someone pushed it live, but there's no word on when they are coming. It's so baffling what's going on with the development. And for Spider-Man, is it going to happen? Will it happen? Or will they just give up, Alan?
I want to add one. So, like, Gino, since you've played obviously a lot of FF14, and that game is your life. Like, how extensive is the post? Like, without detail, like, how extensive is that post game? Like, is it the post game that keeps you playing, or is it the grind playing with all your friends?
The post game.
The interesting thing about Final Fantasy 14 is that as with most MMOs, your goal is to get to the end game, because that is where the bulk of the content is. But the beauty of 14 is that they start you they give you the experience of the end game starting from like level 15, and then there's a cap of the cap right now is level 80. So the journey to end game is what keeps you in the game, and then once you get to post game, you're there for there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of content with that. Obviously, it's getting like all the weapons, the armor, playing with your friends, helping your See, that's the thing that this game needs. Like you already mentioned it, they should have focused on making a very extensive post game, because either you have a post game to keep you playing, or you have all your friends to just grind out with daily. But since they don't have a player base, you need to focus on the post game instead of anything else. You need something to keep people in there. Because then when Spider-Man comes out, you could level him up quickly, but you're not. When Spider-Man comes out, your excitement is,
oh, I want to get Spider-Man so I can see what post-game content he has, or I want to get him in the post-game content to grind him out. Like, that's what they should have focused on.
I think what they should have done is just do not make a games as a service game. They should have just focused on making a good Avengers game. Like,
absolutely.
If you play Spider-Man and you finish the story, no one's gonna ask for where's the end game for Spider-Man. But then if you are making the Avengers game and then you promise end game stuff and you have all this system of leveling up and getting gear and all that stuff, people are expecting that the game will start with the end game. They could have just stick with the story. They could have polished it, and people would have played it, thought they would have either liked the story or not, and then move on.
Yeah, it should have been single player.
Yeah, that's
a
where
very polished single player experience.
That's where Crystal Dynamics is very strong, because if you look at the Tomb Raider games, those games are incredible.
Yeah,
and they're not a service game.
But they have a multiplayer mode that you can play. Like, it's slapped on there, but that's not why you're playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wonder how long until they give up.
They're not giving up.
How long until we just get the black post? Like, we're sorry, but we're stopping. We're moving on.
It's Marvel. They're gonna milk this till the udder is dry.
It's Marvel. So I do wonder if at some point Marvel comes to them and say this is like ruining our reputation in a way, or this is dragging the Marvel name down. Just shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Last question before we move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Who would you want to see do an Avengers game if this thing fails and they give the license to someone else? Who would you want to see do an Avengers game?
Insomniac.
I don't know. I want them to stick with Spider-Man. They've done that. They can expand on that. I think I would want someone like
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog would be cool.
Because I want a very emotional, resonating story.
Respawn, interesting.
Respawn would be interesting for sure.
Yeah. Especially the team that did Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, rip Marvel's Avenger.
Oh, man. It's last thing, I guess, just like, because this has Marvel's Avenger, so this game sold. You know what I mean? This game sold.
Oh, it sold really well. Yeah,
it's sold.
Because of its name. They have to fix it. They can't give up on it. They're going to fix it. They need to.
They could just give.
Gino, they are fixing it March 18th. They're making it better.
They are not gonna make any more money out of the game.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming up, it's free.
I mean, they gotta pull people in somehow, right? You know. So
you think that now people are gonna buy it?
Rip.
I don't know.
Rip.
I guess we'll see.
Well,
right, guys, let's move on to a game that some people are excited about. Let's see here, number 4, a leaked Elden Ring trailer is being circulated online. This is from Andy Robinson over at VGC. The video, which has been seen by VGC but cannot be shared for legal reasons, is labeled as Bandai Namco Confidential and shows a significant amount of off-screen footage from what appears to be a planned gameplay trailer from the first From Software title. The gameplay footage then shows a montage of familiar Souls-style melee combat, boss battles against a fire-breathing dragon and a large sword-wielding foe, and a glimpse at horseback combat in a large open environment. The trailer calls Elden Ring an all-new fantasy action RPG franchise from the creators of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. Since the off-screen clip seen by VGC seemingly only shows a portion of the trailer, there is no release date mentioned. However, we understand Elden Ring has already been delayed several times internally due to disruption caused by the pandemic. So I saw a Twitter video on this. I just saw the little the horseback riding, which looked pretty freaking sick, dude. Now I'm super excited for the game. I don't really care. Alan, what do you think?
See, I didn't actually watch the clips because I'm kind of scared of the reception Elden Ring will get because I picked this as a hype game for this year. But see, I'm not sure how I feel because Elden Ring's in an interesting position in terms of like disregarding the gameplay because it's from a Souls game. It's gonna have their formula. The question is, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro all play mechanically like that. They're vastly different in terms of how you're supposed to approach it. So obviously it's not going to copy Bloodborne. And I would honestly feel like because we already had Demon Souls, I feel like Dark Souls is so cemented in the way that it is that we need to kind of do something more with that, which is why I think Elden Ring really needs to kind of enhance on the Sekiro formula that they had. Because Sekiro, I think, is actually probably one of their best games mechanically. So I don't have too much thoughts on this until we at least see a full-on actual like dive of the gameplay, because I don't play Souls games for the story, so the story I could care less about. I need to see the dive of the gameplay. The gameplay is what's going to sell me, and since we can't really see that, I don't have too much on this.
So, Kyle,
but I hope it evolves on Sekiro.
Yeah, I want to throw it over to you, Kyle. Did you see the trailer, or did you see it leaked?
I've seen screenshots, and I was listening to Waypoint Radio, and they watched it live on their podcast, so I heard them. I heard it. Strange. But from them talking about it, it does look like they are still trying to push the envelope of like, hey, we have this typical style, right? How else do we push this? And one of the things I heard them mention was some stealth sequences and stuff, and like that has never really been in the Souls-like games, at least in a major way. In
Sekiro, you could be fairly stealthy a lot.
There is a bit, yeah. So there was that, and then I think we see here this mention of the horseback combat in a large open environment. I think is fairly new from what I understand. Of like, hey, maybe there's more open world stuff, more vehicular. Is a horse a vehicle?
Horsebacular. Horsebacular.
Horsebacular
vehicular horse
combat. I think stuff like that would add interesting things to this genre. And I haven't really dived into these games because I don't really like hard games. I liked we just mentioned it, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but even then I was really bad at the combat. Like I was awful.
It was hard, yeah.
And it didn't make me feel like I was in control of the character, but I'm fascinated by how much people get into these games and like how mechanically deep they are. And so I'm like anxiously being like, is this going to be something I like? Will I try this? I don't know. I'm not sold yet, but I'm like keeping it on the edge of my peripherals.
I like the idea of it being more open world, which is what we saw in the leak. So that piqued my interest a little bit more on it, and I'm more of an advocate for putting an easy mode in these Souls games, or an what is it what do people say? Accessibility modes, stuff like that.
But you also like you want like an assist mode to kind of help you with combat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like something like that. Obviously, keeping true to the game itself. You don't have to turn any of that on or anything like that. So I'm an advocate for that kind of stuff, and I would like, or I'm interested in seeing Elden Ring being the first From Software game of its kind where they do want to bring people in, beginner players that haven't played Souls games and stuff like that. And because this is a game with the story crafted by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
So it would I would find it I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of people that are fans of Game of Thrones and stuff like that coming to play this, having not played Souls games before. And then being met with the freaking beginner boss absolutely destroying them, and then they can't experience the story. So it's like, I would like for them to give this game, the option to open itself up to more people, other than just Alan's obviously on the opposite end of that. But Alan, you suck. Yeah. So.
No,
sorry, I hate to interrupt here. I think there's a difference between making it easier and making it more accessible.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it's more accessible, it's open to more people. It can still be really difficult, but if it can somehow guide the players through that would be wonderful. But making it easier is just like
I'm kind of different because like I've played all of them except for Dark Souls 1 and 2. I mean, I played 2. I never played Dark Souls 1. And like I understand that like you want games to be for everybody, but as much as it sucks that like not everyone could enjoy these games, I don't want Elden Ring or really any future Souls games, and I especially like the old ones, that they don't really have an accessibility or an easy mode or hard or anything else, because that's not why people love these games. People love these games because they're uncompromising. You play it, and that's how the game is. The other thing is, when you, as I think it was Kyle mentioned, the deep dive mechanics of these games, every Souls game, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Sekiro, every game gives you every tool to either, there's stuff in Sekiro and Bloodborne that makes bosses a fucking cakewalk. It gives you cheese strats, but you have to delve into the mechanics and listen to the lore or learn stuff about how everything ties together to make the game easier. The game has its own built-in easy mode, but you have to delve into the mechanics to find it. And if you don't delve into it, that's what makes the game hard, because you're being uncompromising to play how the game wants you to learn.
Yeah.
These games are popular because they're hard.
Just to be clear, I also want to make sure we separate. It's not a compromise to put in an accessibility mode. That should absolutely be in the game.
I'm saying like a difficulty option.
An easier,
like configuring controls, making things easier, or anything else. Those are fine, because that assists you learning the mechanics. But I don't want the game to be artificially made easier.
Yeah, like if you put an colorblind mode, that's not gonna change.
Yeah, those
make
are
it
fine.
easier or not. Yeah, I get where Alan is coming from. I'm not a Soulsborne player, so it doesn't affect me. I do kind of like, I don't know, appreciate or respect. I think respect is a better word. Respect. What's his name? Hideki Miyazaki for sticking through with this position. Like, his position is, this is my vision, this is how I wanted to play, that's why I do not put an easy mode, and I respect him for that. I think that I would still like for everyone to be able to play any game, but I respect his decision to do that with his games. Like, it's your decision to play them or not. It's his decision to do whatever he wants with the games. I do not think that Shadows Die... No, wait, that's the other game. Elden Ring. I do not think it's going to be easier because it is still going to be directed by Hidetaki Miyazaki. Yeah. And so unless he changes his stance, I think it's going to be just the same as before. I looked at the trailer, when you were talking about the story.
Same.
It looks... It kind of reminds me a lot of, funny enough, of Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, I was going to say Dragon's Dogma.
That too.
No, wait, I was thinking of Tolkien. It reminded me a bit of Shadow of Mordor because of the stealth part. It did look more open. And also you had that horsecular combat there. But still, at the end of the day, it is still Demon Souls, Dark Souls. I don't know in which category it falls. Like at the beginning, I was getting into it because of the things that were reminding me of Shadow of Mordor, but then it got to this is a Soulsborne game, and that I do not gravitate to those games, so it's not gonna be something probably that I will try.
Yep.
There you go.
Sweet.
There you go, my friends. That's all the news, the big news we got for today. Kyle, take us away.
I will hit the button that takes us away to our new and notable section.
So I hear you guys like PlayStation VR. So I'm here to tell you that our first thing is,
like it.
Before we even get to VR, we're going to go back to reality with Apex Legends launches on Switch March 9th.
Bam.
Finally. It got announced a while back ago.
My own little
It did,
personal one. The next gen version of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, will be available on March 12th. And you can cross save and get your trophies automatically.
There you go. That's
I think you
platinum
should-
for you, my friend.
You should play through it again.
No.
Like you should make it
Just
so
like,
you
no.
shouldn't.
No. I'll
Shut
play
down.
through it. I'll play
You
through
shouldn't
it.
get
I'll play
everyone.
through it, but that's it. But unfortunately, Guilty Gear Strive has been delayed to June 11th of 2021. Because I think this game is supposed to come out this month or next month.
It was delayed
No, I
about a
have no
month,
idea.
I think, from like April
Okay.
9th.
Okay.
Or so I guess that's 2 months, April, May, June. Yeah, 2 months or so ish,
All right.
Ooh-wee.
something like that.
Aliens Fire Team was announced this past week from Cold Iron Studio and is coming this summer to current and next gen Xbox and PlayStation consoles as well as Steam.
Did you guys
see
see
Well,
It's
it?
coming to
Steam.
stream.
This looks cool.
It looked cool, but it you do not have it here. I think it is a squad based game,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yes.
Like you are a squad again.
I think it's a 3-player co-op squad or 4.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I thought it looked pretty interesting. I thought it looked fun to play. So I'm looking
gameplay
forward
wise,
to
it did look fun.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, that's not the type of game that I play.
Yeah.
So
Well, now we
Doesn't
actually
fun.
have the hot topic, the big one of the week. A PlayStation VR Spotlight happened this past week, and here is everything announced. I'm just gonna shoot through these. These were from Eurogamer's Matt Walls. So we're gonna shotgun these. Doom 3 VR coming March 29th. Fracked, which sets players loose in a mountain fracking facility overrun by armed interdimensional creatures intent on destroying the world, launches this summer. Zenith, meanwhile, is a quote expansive JRPG inspired MMO that sees players explore a quote massive world of lush canopies, turquoise blue waters, and futuristic cityscapes as they take on men and gods in a bid to prevent catastrophe. No release date yet, sadly. After the fall from Vertigo Games, the developer behind Arizona Sunshine, it's a co-op action FPS set in the frozen post-apocalyptic remains of an alternate 1980s LA, launches this summer. I Expect You to Die Too, The Spy and Liar, which once again sees players cast in the role of an enterprising secret agents, using their brains to figure out how to escape each perilous scenario with their lives, coming later this year.
That one looks neat.
Ooh.
yeah,
Song in the Smoke, a striking survival game by developer 17-Bit, coming later this year. Anything in here exciting anybody specifically?
so I think I'm the only one here who has a PSVR.
I do.
I don't have mine
Correct me
anymore.
if I'm wrong.
I have one
Correct.
Okay,
I sold mine.
so my take on this is that every game here looked interesting, at least a little bit interesting. The ones that pop up for me personally, I Expect You to Die Too. I cannot wait. I love I Expect You to Die. It is one of the most fun VR games out there for sure. So I wasn't
Alright.
expecting a sequel, and I'm glad it's coming out.
Nice.
I'm looking
Uh,
at gameplay for Zenith.
Yeah.
And it piqued my interest when you said a JRPG inspired MMO. I've never
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
an MMO for VR. So I'm looking at it and it
Yeah, those are rare.
looks pretty cool. This would
And
be
is
nice
there
to
anything it's kind of looking like specifically, Gino, or no?
play. I can't pinpoint it. It's like a cell shaded sort of 3D MMO, futuristic fantasy kind of looking game.
All right.
But they haven't really shown much gameplay. They're just showing environments and the characters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
and
looks
I
interesting.
know, yeah, and I know a couple of friends that are excited for Doom in VR. That
Yeah.
kind of excited because they're big Doom fans, so that's exciting for them. But nothing since I don't have a VR headset anymore, nothing really in here excites me, and I don't play a lot of VR anyways, so nothing really jumps out at me.
Regarding Doom 3 VR, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when the Oculus Rift was being kickstarted.
Oh wow!
Like before even Facebook bought it.
No.
I do remember it vividly how it promised that you could get it with Doom 3 VR. And so
Interesting.
apparently, from what I'm looking at, that ended up not happening. So it is like funny to see it now poking up again.
All right.
No.
Any
and
other...
also,
No, you go
the
ahead.
other game that piqued my interest was Fracked. It looked pretty cool.
Fracking.
The whole mountain setting looked pretty cool. It looked like you had a lot of movement in there, which is always fun for me on VR.
All right. Closing it. No other thoughts on the VR stuff, guys? Nothing else? All right.
Not really.
Well, jumping back to reality, Animal Crossing New Horizons has detailed their March update. New stuff includes things such as the Super Mario crossover event is already happening in preparation for Mario Day on March 10th. So play it and get your warp pipes.
Nice.
But you can also catch tadpoles, orchid mantises, and more when fishing because there's always stuff to catch because you got to fill out your encyclopedia. Shamrock Day includes like clothing, decorations, and more will be available in the store. And Bamboo is available as well, even though I thought Bamboo was already available.
Not in this one, is what I'm hearing. It's been in past games. But
well, there's an island.
Yet?
There's an island covered in like bamboo stuff.
I don't know. But yeah, it looks like you can build stuff out of bamboo and decorate with it or something. But that's been like bamboo is now available.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure bamboo's already in the because when you do like the
maybe it's seasonal then.
Yeah, because when you use the plane ticket, you can sometimes go to an island that's just covered in bamboo stuff.
Yeah. Oh well. All right.
Yeah.
Bamboo.
Well, hey, bamboo is available. It's available as well because it's been available, or maybe it's not. Bamboo is available? ?
Bamboo Palooza.
And that's it for new and notable. So, Kyle, it's time for speed.
Yeah, let's get to that lightning round.
Okay. First up, Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, a 12-hour stream of competitions and gameplay is happening today. Announcements will be made during closing ceremonies. Kakarot DLC, Fighters teases, found out next time, and I refuse to read what's next because that's a joke. That's something from the English dub, and I refuse to read it.
Oh my god.
It isn't good.
What's the Spanish dub?
Yeah, how do you say it in Spanish?
They do not say that.
Well,
that's something the English dub added.
It's called Improv Ignacio.
Wow. Nerds.
Nah.
Nerds.
Nah, I refuse.
Yeah, so that's happening today, the day we're recording this, which is Saturday.
Yeah.
So by the time this goes live, all those announcements will be up. I'm sure if there is big stuff, we will be mentioning them next week.
Can you believe they added that character?
What was that?
Can you believe they added that character, guys? Oh, man. I saw it and I was like, whoa.
Oh, man.
Give me a character. Give me one.
Give you one? Oh, yeah. Dude. Obviously, it's going to be another version of Goku.
I think we have enough Gokus in Fighters. Hopefully they give more information about Kakarot DLC because they are pretty bad at telling you any information about it. Yeah. Next up, Howard Legacy designer quits amid past YouTube controversy.
God, this I feel bad
it's a
for
can
a
of
lot
worms.
of these developers.
It's a can of
that
worms.
Are working on this game. Yeah, it's a whole can of worms.
I'd rather not touch it any more than that because it is a whole thing.
It just sucks to be one of those developers that are like in the midst of that.
Yeah. Moving on. Frogware has issued a DCMA? You have it written here is a DMCA takedown for their own game, The Sinking City. Let's read it again. Frogware has issued a DMCA takedown for their own game, The Sinking City, and accused their publisher, Nacon, of illegally hacking the game and releasing it on Steam. Nacon says that they are within their contractual rights.
What's going on there?
So from what I read, there's this whole issue between Frogware and Nacon for The Sinking City, and apparently the game got taken down out of Steam. From what I read, apparently Nacon went and got like some illegal copy like from the internet, and then put that copy onto Steam.
Yeah, from what I understand is like they only released it on consoles initially, and they had DLC for the game, but they put like the way they coded it or something, like it wasn't going to be able to be put on Steam. And then it somehow showed up on Steam and it had all the DLC in there. So Frogware immediately was like, well, someone messed with the code to do that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've had issues with their publisher before or something like that. Because I remember something about the Sherlock Holmes games, which they also made, and they had some issue with that, I think. But
I don't know for that one, but for sure, Frogware and Nacon had some issues.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff. It's the first time that I've seen anything like this happen.
All right.
More Valheim news. Valheim has now sold more than 5 million copies. Man, that game keeps on selling.
It's a hit.
It's hot. It's what's hot right now.
It is. It's still even. It isn't even out.
It's the next Among
Which
Us.
is the craziest thing. PlayStation Store is removing the ability to buy and rent movies and TV shows on August 31st, 2021.
And all the ones that you bought are getting deleted off your system.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do I do with the ones I already bought?
Yeah.
Wait, are they actually deleting the ones you bought and stuff?
I doubt they are.
Gino's being kind of sus.
It's an interesting question, because if they're shutting down that stuff, like, what are they doing with that server space where all of that stuff was hosted?
It's true,
right? Like,
they'll probably still
more games.
Keep it there, but eventually they probably ended up shutting it down.
Shutting it down. That's wild. Yeah.
But I doubt that they will right now gonna close it all down.
Do you think they're gonna have like an end of a closing down store sale for the?
Well, no, because that's usually what happens with, for example, games that get taken out of the PlayStation Store. For example, the game is still in there. You just cannot buy it. You can re-download it, but you can't buy it. So
interesting.
It probably will be a similar situation. I doubt that Sony would straight up say, "Hey, you cannot buy," and also say goodbye to everything that you bought.
To be honest, though, I'm kind of glad they're doing that. As much as I see the value in having everything like all in one place, right? Of like, hey, I can play games, I can rent movie. Like, there is value in that. I just kind of really want them to focus on the PlayStation 5 and the games that they do, because right now their UI and all of that stuff is not great.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I gotta buy Interstellar.
Well,
we have till August 31st.
Yep. And I only have one movie in there, and what's sexy is that I cannot even watch it here. I had to be in the US to be able to watch it.
That sucks.
Yeah. Next up, E3's live event has been cancelled. According to the LA City Board. Their plans were for a virtual show anyways. So,
Next up.
Hey guys, no E3 this year.
Yeah, no live version. So
Who would have thunk?
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, we'll still have the virtual show, whatever that ends up being. But yeah, I don't know. I do not think that it was a guarantee that it wasn't gonna have a physical event, but it still was highly likely.
Yeah.
So, the pandemic. Hopefully, it will be end soon.
Hopefully.
Forever Entertainment, who did the Panzer Dragoon remake, has signed a deal with Square Enix to make several remakes for them.
Intriguing.
Gino, what would you want?
What? Square Enix remakes?
Yeah.
I want
The Bouncer.
Crisis Core remake. This is what I want.
I agree with
that
that.
would be nice. Yeah.
That's all I want.
Bring back the bouncer.
I feel like they should just remake every Final Fantasy.
The
game, to be honest with
bouncer.
you. If they remake every Final
Yeah,
Fantasy,
but
that'd be awesome.
they will end. That would probably end like in 40 years.
Tactics
You would get
Advance
to
on the
Final
Switch.
Fantasy 6.
Yeah, but like not like
In
not like
2020
full remakes, like
2050.
freaking like Final Fantasy 7 remake, but like obviously like Tactics and like 1, 2, 3, and 4, like those are like the pixel sprite based. Like if they just like fully like bring those to new consoles, like up-res like how pixel games are now or whatever, I don't know, something like that. That'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. Not full on remakes. Like I guess from when they started polygons is where they should do the 7 treat, you know, like 8 and Crisis Score and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Dirge of Cerberus.
Do we really need a Dirge of Cerberus remake?
Oh, yeah. People need to appreciate Vincent Valentine a little bit more.
Do
I
we?
mean, isn't that the whole thing of this? The one they announced last week, Ever Crisis of like
Yes.
it has all
Ever
that,
Crisis,
like it
yeah.
has the story of those things
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Next up, 2 Ghost of Tsushima developers, Nate Fox and Jason Connell, are being honored as tourism ambassadors for the real-life island.
There you go.
Good for them, dude.
Good on them.
Good on them. Yeah. It just shows you how good of a work that they did for
So,
Ghost of Tsushima.
Island of Tsushima. Let me see what it costs to go over there.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be not normal prices.
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
Let me see. Plan a trip. 5,855.
Holy shit.
Wow. It'll take 1 day and like 10 hours to get there.
I don't know.
Well,
the
you-
video game looks pretty. I think I'll just go there.
Yeah. Just vacation.
Holy shit, $6,000. That's freaking crazy.
Damn.
A 37-hour trip.
Now wait, is that for to go there or is that a round trip cost?
That's a round trip. That's round trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, let's save
So you
up,
can-
guys.
So pay half that and just move there.
Hopefully they gave them like they made them ambassadors, but they're also like, hey, you can fly over here for free whenever you want. That would be cool
Hey.
for them.
Or they say, hey, if you platinum Ghost of Tsushima, you get 1 free trip to this island. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I did that.
Yeah, I did that. I'll go there.
That's crazy. I've never seen a flight that expensive. That's wild.
Yeah, but I'm sure it has more things thrown in either. Not only it being a round trip.
What more things be thrown in there? It's a flight.
Like a hotel, transportation.
That's not what I looked up. No, I just looked up a flight.
Yeah, but those sometimes getting.
All right, I guess I'll go on
there.
Expedia. I'm just kidding. You can keep going.
Okay, the final one that I have here. Ant-Man seems to be the next Marvel hero to join Fortnite.
Nice. I wonder if
Don't know anything.
he's gonna
much
change
than that.
if he's gonna change
Kind of
sides.
wild that Fortnite can pump out Marvel heroes faster than the Avengers can.
Oh, damn.
Damn, absolutely destroyed them.
I mean, I get that it's only a skin, but
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
There you go.
wild.
and that's it. There you go.
There you go. Good stuff. Alan,
Yes.
what are you excited for this week?
I'm actually very excited to I legitimately played through Crash Bandicoot 4 casually instead of trying to get everything. I'm just gonna casually play through it.
That's
Other
nice.
than that, I'm actually excited to play more Yeast 9 on Monday, and I've actually been playing a lot more of the story consistently, so I'm excited to play more story of Yakuza 0 because I now do more of the story.
You better
Nice.
do it.
You don't tell me what to do.
Perfect.
Mm.
Good for you.
Don't
man.
tell me how to live my life.
Okay, Mom.
Gino, what about you, my dude?
I'm excited. I actually wanted to shout out the FCF stuff that I've been doing with Matt. If you guys have seen it,
Yeah.
it's fun doing
Man.
that. So I'm excited to continue doing
That kid Dino. We need to get him to be why this is fun.
It seems like
Because we're sure he seems to be a good like charm.
well, from the video that was released previously, you could see that he does not want to be a Glacier Boys fan. So
Yeah. Any word if he joined the Wild Aces?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. He goes away every week and then he shows up randomly on Friday. So just like showed up out of that.
Randomly shows up in a garbage.
Yeah, he showed up in the trash
thing.
can. Which side note, if you guys didn't know, I play Dino.
What?
Yeah, dude, if you guys didn't know.
Fuck, man.
Crazy. Yeah, I know.
Never
With the
have a
face mask
legitimate
on.
You're going
celebrity.
to tell me
Yeah.
Superman is Clark Kent.
Wait, you're Dino?
Yeah. And getting into that dumpster, dude, was freaking hard as shit. Like, I was like, I need to do this because it's going to be great. So I hope people freaking appreciate this because I'm freaking, like, it was so hard. But yeah, it was fun. So I'm excited.
How is
And
this smell?
where can you find these videos?
You can find these videos on Twitter that are being posted on Twitter by Matt S. I think it's Matt S. Batson is how he... Yes,
There you go.
Matt S. Batson over on Twitter, and obviously Gino_Viteri as well. You can check that out there.
Cool.
Cool.
Sweet.
Ignacio, what are you excited for this week?
I can tell you what I'm not excited for. Going back to classes this week.
Oof.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks indeed.
sucks. I don't know. Nothing really. I mean, for tonight, hopefully Dino showed up. And,
I mean,
and he's now
hopefully you
Wild
get-
fans because hopefully they win. Hopefully Wild win tonight.
Hopefully, you also get the announcement of the Kakarot DLC.
Oh,
'cause that would
yeah.
be happening sometime today.
Hopefully, we know nothing about it. Same for
He hopes.
when the DLC 2 happened. They just went
Right,
for
yeah.
a long period not saying anything.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
yeah.
Well, let's see. Ignacio, you'll be excited about this one. I am watching the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Dude,
I have-
it's
Oh.
you haven't started it yet, right?
I've started it. I have 4 left. I have like the
Oh.
final 4 left.
That season is so good.
Yeah. I don't think it's their best one, but they are having a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there was some character that came back that I was excited to see in the show. That was fun. But yeah, hopefully either tonight or tomorrow I'll be finishing that up. Hopefully soon also wrapping up Sunset Overdrive, and I don't know which one I'll do next. I have yet to decide, but I think I'm either going to play through Final
Resident
Fantasy VII
Evil.
Hey.
or
Resident Evil.
Breath of the Wild, because I never beat that game.
Well, there's clearly a right
So-
option there.
Final Fantasy VII.
Well,
No.
like
No.
I want to do both. I'm going to do both. I just don't know which one I'm gonna do first.
Breath of the
So-
Wild.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Kyle,
We'll see.
you're almost there. You are almost at the end of Breath of the Wild, so I think you should go and play Final Fantasy VII.
Sorry, I got
Well,
this cough.
That's
Wait,
the
but you
thing,
played through
if-
7 remake,
I played through 7 remake. I haven't
so you
played
want to
through all
go
of the
back
original.
to 7.
Oh,
Yes.
you play the original?
That's why I just said.
Oh, no, play
Final
that
Fantasy
one.
7.
Play
Yeah, I
that.
played that one.
Play that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I didn't say the word remake, because that's not the one that I'm playing.
Sorry, I
yeah,
just assumed.
I've played the first couple hours, and I did that before Remake came out, but I stopped because I was like, oh, like this is all that game is going to cover. So
Yeah,
you know,
I just
but yeah. So I'm thinking about going through
Sony
that, and then with
really good.
Breath of the Wild, I got up to where it was like, okay, you've beaten all the legendary beasts, just go beat Ganon. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go play something else. And then I just never came back.
They're like, Kyle, go save Hyrule. Oh, I'll go play something else now.
But Mario Odyssey, you know, come on, it's me.
Don't worry, I'll be back to save Hyrule. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll be back someday.
So that's what I'm excited for this week.
Nice.
But with that, Alan, where can they find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Twitter at Alan Busby. You can also watch me stream 3 nights a week at twitch.tv/AzurePKK. Or you can just watch the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Landona, because it's all the socials and you can find me anywhere. Because I make things.
Stuff and things. There you go. Gino, how about you, my friend?
Like I said, you can find me over on Twitter at Gino_Terry. Check out the Wild Aces stuff.
Cool. Ignacio.
Well, they can find me on Twitter at IgnazRojasB. That's IGNACIOROJASB. And hopefully the Wild Aces win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They better do, Dino.
Why are you asking? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Like, it's almost like you're referencing something.
I think he listens to the show, so.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Big fan of that.
Shout out to Dino.
Shout out Dino.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dino, yeah.
If you guys want to stay up to date with me, I'm at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter. If you guys want to stay up to date with our shows, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So go like, share, subscribe, sell your soul, tell a friend, tell a foe, do whatever you need to do to help spread the word. And if you have some nice things to say, please go rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, because that would help us out a ton, especially since we are small creators here. We want our show to get out to more people. But with that,
Kyle,
yes.
I actually hear that selling your soul is actually on a discount right now. So you can sell your soul at a discounted price.
There you go.
Even more reason.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Exactly. With that, let's wrap things up. We will get out of here, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Stupid.